Hey everyone, it's Puri here. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be giving you a review of what I think are 3 of the best ultra lightweight wireless gaming mouses available today. I've gone through a lot of mouses in my time as a gamer. I started out using the Logitech Master MX series. Very heavy productivity mouse, low DPI compared to the gaming mouses that are available today. And over time, I went through a lot of different iterations of gaming mouse types, and I've ended up with the personal opinion that ultra lightweight wireless mouses are the best for gaming and for daily use. I use pen and paper a lot to write notes, and I draw in my free time as well. My mouse grip is very similar to my pencil grip. I usually write at an angle, and I actually hold my mouse at an angle as well. My grip style is a mix between claw and fingertip. My arm is stationary and I use my wrist for aiming. So most of my movement comes from the wrist when I'm using my mouse. And using a heavy mouse all day can create a lot of strain and make it difficult to make fast, sharp, or short movements. So for those reasons, I think that ultra lightweight wireless mouses fit me the best. Keep in mind your grip style, aiming style, and personal preferences are going to shape what you might think is the best mouse. There are a ton of different options that can cater to any single individual out there, so keep that in mind. The meta for these lightweight mouses has been 2 side buttons, minimal design, minimal lighting if any, and really refined and purposefully shaped shells with premium internal sensors and switches. We'll start with the G Pro Superlight, which I think has been considered kind of the king of gaming lightweight wireless mouses for a long time. It's about 63 grams. I run it without the circular PTFE pad just to shed a little more extra weight. I use this as my daily mouse since it was released. As you can see, it's getting shiny on some of these parts. I had some grip tape on it at one point, but I took it off. I really prefer to see it the way it was designed because I think it's a really sophisticated and elegant design. A lot of people will say, why would you pay more for less? And my answer to that is a lot of engineering goes into minimizing every unnecessary hump, every unnecessary angle, every unnecessary piece of weight, and the result is an elegant tool designed for precision. I think the mark of a really premium gaming mouse these days is its ability to make you forget that you're using a mouse and just make it feel like an extension of your arm. Going back to the G Pro Superlight, it uses a Logitech Hero 25K sensor. It has a 1000 Hertz polling rate. As you can see, it's very lightweight. It can just hang off the tip of your finger here and just balance. The first time I used it, I was legitimately shocked at how well it translated what I wanted to do and what would actually happen on the screen with minimal thinking in between that happening. So like I said earlier, I think that's the mark of a good mouse for me. For me, I don't care about what stats are marketed. There are a lot of ways to make numbers look good in advertising. That's why if you see any of my videos, I test things from top to bottom, and I like to find where those lines really are instead of where maybe companies want you to think they are. And over those years, I think I've gotten pretty good at finding, which products are really worth their salt and which ones are maybe just riding off a wave of marketing. The MSRP on each of these models I think is $149. The Kone Pro might have been $129. I don't remember for sure. Either way, these are expensive mouses in general, and I'd say you should expect premium build quality on them. The seams and gaps are all very even. Construction is beautiful. Sorry, the mouse is kind of gross. This one's pretty old. Clicks are very nice. Switches are premium. The wheel is lightweight and very responsive. The one gripe I have against the Logitech G Pro Superlight is the side buttons are kind of squishy. There's a little give before they actually depress. So if I had to say anything against the G Pro Superlight, it would be that. But I mean, other than that and the fact that it's a little bit small for my larger hands, it's been the perfect mouse for me as a daily and gaming mouse for at least for the past year and a half, but that has recently changed. Next, I'll talk about the Roccat Kone Pro Air. This was released after the G Pro Superlight. I purchased it to see how it stacks up against the G Pro Superlight. It weighs 75 grams compared to the G Pro Superlight 63. That's not that much more weight, but when you're talking about Superlight mouses, you can feel that difference. It has a Roccat Owl Eye 19K sensor, which is based off the PAW3370. It has a 1000 Hz polling rate. I think Roccat's software is called Swarm. It works pretty well in my memory. I switched over to the mouse for a couple months. It was my second favorite mouse after the G Pro Superlight for the last year and a half. You can see it has some texturing on the thumb area here. It's got some lines for grip. The actual shell itself is sort of like a satiny finish. And then the buttons are transparent and they have that honeycomb RGB look inside. I usually, if I have any lights on any of my stuff, I'm usually just leaving it white. Here are the feet on the bottom. It's got a very large pad here. It's got a, decent sized pad up here. And then right around the sensor, it's got that circle. Dongle slot here. You can go in Bluetooth mode or dongle mode. And then you can have different profiles set on the key here. Overall, I felt that the clicks felt a little bit better on this. I like the fat wheel on the Kone Pro Air. Also, I have larger hands, so this shape fit my hand a little better. But after using it for about a month and switching back to the G Pro Superlight, I found myself going back to the G Pro Superlight over and over and over. So something about it, I don't know what it is. It's just a really, really nice mouse. It just feels great to use. Moving on to the Razer Death Adder V3 Pro. This was released in 2022. When I think about these performance mice, I kind of compare them to performance vehicles. This is the BMW M3. It set new precedents in terms of performance, in terms of aesthetics, in terms of form. It just set the new meta for what a gaming mouse should be. As you can see, all these competitors that followed suit. Just like when BMW releases an M3 competition version that tops AMG's numbers, then AMG will come back and make a turbocharged version with decoupling drivetrain so that you can switch from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive. The point is, it's a continual arms race in terms of performance gear, no matter what the industry is, right? So I really like that there's a lot of competition in this market and that it's evolving so quickly, because when the G Pro Superlight was released, I think this stood above the rest as a clear-cut example to follow. And I think over the years, things have just been refined more and more. And the result of that is the Razer Death Adder V3 Pro. This has now become my favorite mouse. It is 63 grams. It has a Razer Focus Pro 30K sensor. It has a 1000 Hz polling rate out of the box. You can upgrade it to 4K polling with a special add-on dongle, which you can see here. It does increase the CPU usage, so make sure that you have that bandwidth in your system to run a 4K dongle if you're considering using it. talking about the construction of the V3 Pro. When you pick it up, it just feels like nothing. It feels like almost like styrofoam or something in my hand, because it also has a little bit of a textured surface. It's got a little bit of a grain to it, and that gives it a good amount of grip, and it feels really nice. The switches on this mouse are the best feeling that I've ever felt on any mouse before. They feel better than the G Pro Superlight, they feel better than the Kone Pro. They sound really nice and crisp, and when you push them down, there's no travel, there's no give back. It just feels like right when you want to click it, it responds. And it's a really beautiful feeling. The wheel, nothing special. It's got a rubber grip on it, it's lightweight and hollow, some spokes on it. The only lighting on this mouse is that little indicator there. It charges through USB-C. Here's what the feet look like. And when I compare it to the other two mouses here, I noticed that Razer went with a very different approach for the feet. Now, when I actually use them, I'm finding that this feels the best. Maybe that's due to the fact that this is newer and those are a little bit older, but overall, using this for the past month or so, I didn't have any complaints about this mouse. I thought it was the best in the world. I really enjoyed using it. It felt great using it up to the day that I bought this one. And now this one just sits and collects dust because this one is that much better. Just like performance cards these days, you can pick and choose what options you want and which ones are important to you, and then find the model that has all those characteristics. For example, the G Pro Superlight for me, it just felt a little bit small in my hand. Even though it felt really good, it just felt a little bit small. When I use this one, there's just 5% less of my mind thinking about how I'm holding it, and that 5% less thinking, translates into a better experience when I'm using the mouse. So for that reason, the Razer Depth Adder V3 Pro along with the 4K polling dongle has become my new go-to for daily use and gaming, and I'd recommend trying it out if you can. If there are specific things you would like to see, then please let me know. Join my Discord, leave it in the comments below, go onto my website, shoot me a message. I do plan on doing individual reviews for all my hardware as well, so I'll be looking forward to any feedback so that I can provide more useful information to you guys as viewers. So I know this wasn't a traditional format. I'm just coming at it as a benchmarker, a guy who games a lot. I'm not a pro gamer, but I do spend a lot of time in games, and I think I'm above average when it comes to gaming. But like I said, I'm more reviewing it from the viewpoint of an enthusiast and a researcher, trying to find, what's really worth spending your money for when there are so many different options and different configurations of different sensors, polling rates, wired, wireless, do you want a lightweight, do you want a honeycomb, do you want an ergo shape, do you want a clamshell shape, do you use a fingertip grip, do you use a claw grip? There's so many different options. I wanted to start making videos on these topics, and this is one of my first attempts. So I hope some of the information I shared here was helpful. And if it was, please drop a like and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great day.